There we go. Just like we used to have it. All right. That can go there. All right, I'll give it a few minutes. What's going on, Wabbit? How we doing? Good old iced tea mix. How you doing, brother? Good to see the regulars come through. It's always appreciated. No matter how long I'm gone, it's good to see those faces. No, it's all right, Wabbit. I'm running a little bit late, especially because I had to work today, so it's all good. It will be up after the stream like usual, so nah, no need to apologize. I'm glad to see you. Give it a few more minutes. We'll chat for a minute, and then we'll get into the stream. Especially because it's been a little while. Give a little heads up on how life's treating me and some of the other things going on. All right, let's move those out of the way. Was hoping to have stuff for a stream tomorrow, but it won't be in time, so we'll have to put off Final Fantasy Friday until next week. But it's all right. I think it's gonna be worth it. Let me know if the music's too loud, please. Appreciate you. We'll give it a couple more minutes, see who piles in, and then we'll get into it. Glad to see everybody. I know I've been gone for a while. I'm kind of popping in here and there, but finally getting back to a regular schedule, so you guys should see me more often. There we go. Excuse me. Hopefully that's a little bit better. I felt like the music was way too loud. All right. Another couple minutes. Go get your friends, your family, some random homeless guy who has a smartphone. Send him the link. Bring him in. Oh, man. To be honest, I really miss doing this. Even just chatting and interacting with everybody. I've missed it, truly. Especially with everything I've been through lately. I've missed it for sure. All right, well, I don't feel like waiting anymore. We're going to get into it. If people pile in, great. If not, well, at least the regulars are here. So what's going on, everybody? WakoBako here today. It's not just only another CGC submission preview. This is the big one. It's like from Toy Story when Sid's like, it's the big one. This is submission number 50. Yes, number 50. And there's the camera bump, obligatory camera bump. You know how it is. But yeah, so my 50th submission with CGC. And technically this is my second employee submission. But yeah, I'll update the title after. I didn't think about that until I just said it. But yeah, just quick update on how everything's going. Finally back to work, back into the swing of things. Trying to stay busy, of course. Excuse me. As you guys can tell, I still sound like absolute garbage, but I'm doing well. Physically, mentally, emotionally, it's all coming back together. Especially, you know, going back to work in probably the least stressful place to be and to work is at CGC. So, yeah, I truly enjoy going to work every day. I'm around a bunch of people that enjoy the hobby or are passionate about some kind of hobby in this atmosphere, if you will. But yeah, I'm still in the training phase. Should be getting out of that here soon. But yeah, just trying to hone my skills and get better every single day, and got a lot of support around me, a lot of vets there making sure I'm good to go. So I truly appreciate them, and shout out to the CGC staff and the crew. But yeah, so again, CGC submission number 50. This is a big one. I wanted to think about how I wanted to make it special. And I think this is going to do it justice. But before we get to that, I want to show two gifts that I've received pretty recently. And it's awesome because they're from people that I went through my Chief Petty Officer initiation with. And they're actually my sponsors for that process, who are absolutely amazing. I doubt that they're watching this, but if you are, shout out to Mike. Shout out to Chad. Appreciate you, boys. But I got to know not only them, but a lot of other people in a very short time frame. And I built bonds with people that I feel like can last a long time, right? And I've earned their respect, and they've earned mine, and they're people that I truly trust, and I'm happy to call brothers. So, but as they got to know me, and obviously word got out quick that I'm the Pokemon guy, they started getting me gifts, and we had this really in-depth conversation about who I am as a person, and you know, my personality and so on and so forth. Sorry, I keep adjusting the music. But so throughout this process, I received this nice little plush, and you guys know I don't really collect a lot of plushes, but this is super special to me, and this is something I've even had to keep my nephew away from. But it's special to me because this symbolizes me in some regards, or maybe even the old me. Very introverted, which, you know, throughout the years I became that way, unfortunately. Not saying it's always a bad thing, but I wasn't that way for a long time. But yeah, so I was this turtle trying to come out of my shell with plenty of potential ahead of me, and they saw that. And you know, even looking at this stuff, I get emotional because it's crazy. Again, just getting to know someone such a short amount of time, and they figure you out, and it means a lot when they give you stuff like this. So from that, I get through the process, and I was given another gift, which I'm looking at right now. So I can't even finish the stream, but I was, let's just say I evolved. So I also have this giant Blastoise plush. So in comparison, right, you can see how big this is. And shout out to War Turtle. I know we kind of skipped you, but don't worry, I'll get the War Turtle plush at some point in time. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. They saw that part of me had evolved, and I got a little bit of that ferocity. I opened up a little bit, and I'm still building to be that Blastoise someday. But again, it's just, maybe it seems kind of dumb. Maybe I didn't explain it well enough, but both of those things to me are super sentimental, and I'm going to hold on to them for as long as I can. All right. Without further ado, you guys see it here. CGC submission number 50 here is the preview. Now, I am going to show everything, and then I'm going to go through and kind of clean this stuff up the best that I can. Now, to keep in mind, I don't use any kind of polish or any kind of cleaners or anything like that. I'm really just going to use a microfiber cloth and try and just see what I can get off, like surface level stuff. And I know there's a lot of people out there, and there's plenty of kits that you can use to get your cards cleaned up and make them look great. From my experience as an expert now, I would do your best to stay away from those things. I'll leave it at that. You guys can make your own assumptions why, but let's just say we can tell, and I'll leave it at that. So, submission number 50. As much as I want to open this box and show you what's in there, because it's going to give it away, I'm going to move this off stream, and then I'm going to take these out, and we're going to go through it. Because, yeah, this is, again, it's going to be special. And it's one of my bigger submissions. Kind of gives it away there if someone can see it. But I haven't done a submission this big in a very long time. This is actually, I want to say, my third biggest submission I've ever done. My biggest submission I ever did was 75 cards. And it was one of my first submissions, which is absolutely insane. But here, we have a whole lot of cards to go through. And I will be dropping these off tomorrow. So that's why I wanted to do this tonight. And I know it seems random to be like, oh, random Thursday, why is he streaming? Well, number one, it's been forever since I've seen everybody. But two, it's because I'm dropping this off tomorrow. So immediately following this stream, I'm going to finalize all the paperwork, print everything out, repackage everything in that box that you saw, right? This box here. There's other things that have to go on this box. And then I drop it off at work tomorrow. Now, for full transparency, and I've said this before, obviously, you know, just so everyone's on the same page, I don't grade my own cards. They get dropped off at the facility. They go through the process just like everybody else's does. They end up on someone's desk, and one of my fellow employees grades them. Now, at that point in time, and I can tell you this from my own experience, when it gets to the grader's desk, you don't see the name, right? You don't get any customer info. It just has an order number. So, especially when it comes to employee submissions, there's no, oh, hey, let me hook this guy up, because you don't know whose it is. But, and also with that being said, like usual, right, I'm just an employee of CGC and CCG as the overall umbrella corp. Random Resident Evil plug there. But, yeah, just anything I say about the company is my own opinion. You know, I'm not one of their public affairs officials, or I'm not one of the HR reps. It's just me being a guy that works for them. All right, anyway, this is the first part of this submission. Good amount of stuff here. And again, I'm going to show everything off, and then I'm going to go through, and I'm going to try and just look at them. And I don't have the best lighting in here currently. I am working on getting an overhead light that's going to point, well, above where this is. I was hoping to have it today, but it didn't come in time. But yeah, I'm going to go through everything, see how everything looks. Again, I'll give my own opinion, see if I can clean some stuff up or just leave it in the state that it's in. And we'll go from there. Super excited about this submission. And like usual, right, especially when it's for the personal collection, I'm not overly concerned about the grade. I just want these things protected and encapsulated for the rest of time. But without further ado, here's part one of this submission. As you can guess, yes, we're doing it again. It is another Blastoise submission. I couldn't think of a better way to do this than do a Blastoise submission for the 50th submission, one of my biggest ones, and that big milestone submission. Kind of crazy to think that this is going to be number 50 and all the great submissions that have come before this one. But without further ado, let's get into it. And again, I'm going to try and lay everything out. We'll show the first section. We'll clear the desk. We'll show the second one, and then I'll pull everything back out. I am going to try and keep these in order because these are the order they're going to be on the form. But without further ado, let me see. How do I want to do this? So I'm just going to put this to the side. Because the second I do this, you're going to... Oh, no, actually, that kind of works. I'll do it like this. I just have to keep in mind, I don't want to spoil what's underneath it, so I'll do it this way. So, first card in this submission, this is the Radiant Blastoise. You guys have seen other variants of Radiant Blastoise before, but this is the Chinese or the simplified Chinese variant. Really, really neat. I think I already have one of these, but I had another one. So I was like, hey, let me try my luck and grade another one. But man, I really wish I had that overhead light. I'm going to do my best to maybe turn on some of the other lights I have here and crank them up, just get things a little bit brighter in here. But yeah, first card in this new submission. I'm going to move you up in the corner. And here we go. On to the next. So next, we have good old Blastoise EX. This is from Stellar Crown. It's been a while. Man, I feel like I'm out of the loop. I haven't really opened up much lately. I'm behind on a bunch of the sets. I have no interest in even touching any of the mega sets in this little sub-generation that they're doing. And that's exactly what it is. It's a sub-series. It's not a full-blown generation. Anyway, but yeah, good old Blastoise EX. Love the artwork on this one. Again, I always like the aggressive artworks, especially for Blastoise, Raichu, and of course Dragonite. But I like this one here, right? Looks like he's setting up for that Hydro Pump or those Twin Cannon attacks. But yeah, another awesome card to get graded. Super excited to see how they play out. And again, I'm going to take them out of the sleeves in a little bit. Well, you can kind of see what's next. But yeah, I'm going to go through and look at all of them the best that I can. And we'll go from there. So you guys have seen this in the last submission that I did. But we have another Japanese Blastoise EX. This is the SAR from 151. So you guys have seen, I've had some really good luck with the Japanese variant. I have some decent luck with the English one, right? So I'm sitting on 2 pristines for Japanese currently. I have 1 English Gemmin 10. And then the Korean one I have, unfortunately, got like a 6 or a 7. Just absolutely terrible. But so let me see if this other light will help. Let me see if this works. A little bit. But yeah, so I thought, I got another one in the stack. Might as well try and get this one graded as well. Maybe we can get another pristine. That would be awesome, especially to be sitting on a bunch of them. But yeah, here we go. Number 3. What's up, Jay? How we doing? Thanks for coming by. Just started showing off the big submission number 50. Good. You see clearly? Good. I'm glad. Like I said, I may have to turn up the lighting just a little bit. But let me know how audio is. I've adjusted the music a few times now. And again, I'm going to take the cards out of the sleeves here in a little bit. All right, so continuing on with 151, we have the Japanese. This is the SR. I'm doing great, actually. Finally back to work and somewhat normal life. It's nice to be working in a stress-free environment, especially with all the chaos I've been going through in the last 6 weeks. But yeah, it's good. All right, thank you, Wabbit. Appreciate you. But yeah, so we have the Full Art SR from 151. I've graded this a few times as well, but again, it's another card that, hey, it's Blastoise. I want to get it graded. It's been sitting in the collection for a while. So there we go with that. On to the next. There we go. I got to keep remember to just like pull these straight up. So here we go. Another Blastoise, right? Again, this is the regular EX from 151. Again, just trying to go through all of them, right? And grade all the Blastoise in this set, which again, 151 is absolutely amazing. It's definitely one of the more popular sets, and it just keeps getting more and more expensive. So if you're sitting on any sealed, oh, I'm absolutely loving work. Absolutely. It's my second passion, right? Like I unfortunately never got a chance to get into my number 1 passion, which is game design, which I do have a degree in. But doing what I do, especially for CGC, and grading cards for a living, I can't complain, dude. It's such an awesome thing to do. And yes, the process to some people may seem a little bit mundane, but it's awesome to see something new hit your desk every single day. Everyone I work with enjoys the hobby to some form or fashion, whether it's Pokemon or Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or One Piece or whatever. So there's not really anyone there that's just like, oh, this job's terrible or I hate being here. Like, everyone enjoys being there, and it's so rare because a lot of jobs aren't that way. Even some more of the senior guys. I sit next to a guy that's been there for 5 years. I'm not going to say his name, but he knows who he is. He's awesome. He's been a great support system and really teaching me everything I need to know to be successful. But yeah, job's absolutely amazing. It's something that I could see myself being there for a long time. And it's going to be that perfect transition once I'm finally done with the military, to just, focus on that job solely. But again, Blastoise EX 151, on to the next. And again, I know some of these card savers, a bunch of different sizes, shapes, but I'll try and get a little more organized before the actual submission tomorrow. All right, so you guys have seen this card before, another absolutely beautiful Blastoise, right? Cybersecurity is huge. That's another field that isn't going away anytime soon and pays very, very well and gives you plenty of opportunities. So, yeah, you should definitely look into that. I fully support it. If you need any help with anything, let me know. I'll try and reach out. But, so there's Blastoise here. Again, original artwork from base set. But this is from the... they did the big like collection box. Remember when they had that huge black case that came in with the 3 decks? This is from the Blastoise deck, obviously, right? You see a little bit of the gold speck and speckle and glitter on the borders there. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, of course, you're welcome. But yeah, an absolutely beautiful Blastoise. I've graded so many different variants of this artwork, but this is one that I'm super excited about. So just to show you just some of the other versions. So this is one of the other ones that I got back somewhat recently, right? The 25th anniversary one. Absolutely amazing. Of course, Japanese base set, right? This is a PSA graded card. I know a guy from CGC has PSA graded cards. Oh no. But yeah, I got the PSA 9 Japanese base set. And then 2 of my absolute favorites. This is Japanese first edition, you know, I mean, it equivalent, right? So this is Japanese, no rarity. You have the 3.5 in the old CGC green label, which isn't a thing anymore. And then you get the one that I bought raw and got graded in that Near Mint 7 again. Both have no rarity symbols. So this was equivalent to English, like Shadowless, right? They had these in the first print runs and then made adjustments after the fact. But yeah, got a lot of that artwork, and I know there's plenty more out there, but yeah, it's one of my favorites for obvious reasons, and I can't wait to get more of it graded. I'll fix all this later. All right, so again, this is going to be fun. I'm super excited to see how this one does. A lot of these Japanese cards, and I've seen... Yeah, I would say so for sure. I mean, Blastoise is obviously my favorite Pokemon, but just this artwork, I don't know. I have 2 other artworks that are definitely top 3 that you guys are definitely going to see here today. So this one's interesting because I know you've seen this before, but maybe not in this iteration. So this is the simplified Chinese Blastoise VMAX, and yes, this is the hyper rare version. We never saw this in English, never saw it in Japanese. This is a simplified Chinese exclusive. This card actually came from the Blastoise set, specifically for Blastoise, right? They did a Venusaur set as well. But you were able to get this card and this one in that same set. And you're also able to get this one, right? So you have the regular variant. And you were able to get this one. So these are the 4 different Blastoise you can get from that set. Again, these 2 are exclusive. You cannot find these anywhere else besides that set in Simplified Chinese. Obviously, you've seen this artwork before from the theme decks or the promos. But yeah, all 4 of these came from that Blastoise-specific Simplified Chinese set, which, again, is super exciting because I have a couple of those booster boxes still sealed that obviously I'm going to hold on to because, well, I have all the cards. There's no need for me to open up that box. All right, I'm going to try and keep it organized here. Obviously, this is going to fill up very quick. Let me know if you guys can still see this. I mean, it's going to look blurry to some capacity, and I apologize ahead of time. But I guess it is what it is, right? All right. On to the next. So as you can see here, we have the Japanese variant of that, the Blastoise V. Again, this was from the little theme deck that came from. All right. On to the next. Maybe I'll just try and hold it like this now. All right. So next, another Radiant Blastoise. Obviously, you saw the first Radiant, a little bit different artwork there, but this one's from Pokemon Go. Very, very fun set. It's kind of crazy to think how long ago this came out. This came out in 2022, and we're getting towards the end of 2026 already. Insane. You know, someone at work said this the other day and almost broke my brain. And I'm gonna shell shock some people here. Just think about this. Pokemon XY Evolutions, you know, the reprint base set, that people hated initially and then it became everyone's fan favorite. That set is almost 10 years old now. That set dropped in 2016. Let that sink in for a little bit. Absolutely insane to think that set's going to be 10 years old next year. But back to Pokemon Go. This is the Radiant Blastoise from that set. I've had this grade a few times in both English and Japanese. But again, I'm going to try my luck with another Japanese version. Of course, you guys know I've had a bunch of these for a while, and we saw the Pristine 10 that I've already had graded, so I'm going to try my luck to see if we can get another Pristine 10, but hey, I'll take a Gem Mint. I'll take anything, to be honest. And again, since this is all for personal collection, and I have to keep reemphasizing that because, yeah, anyway, yeah, I'm just, whatever grade I get, and I'll be content with it. That rhymed weirdly, but yeah, 25th anniversary Japanese Blastoise base set artwork. Another absolutely beautiful Japanese card here. So this is Piplup and Blastoise Tag Team GX. I'm slowly, yeah, Stellar Crown was last September. It's absolutely insane, right? Like it's gone by so quick. It also doesn't help that I've missed so many of the current sets because I really don't feel like overpaying for them. And I've been getting the Japanese equivalents. But yeah, this year's gone by so fast. And again, we're about to get into the mega sub-generation, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, again, I'm probably going to skip out on that one. I know there's a big Charizard that's already been advertised. I don't really care. But Piplup and Blastoise. So what I was saying here, there was a bunch of different tag team sets that came out during the Sun and Moon era. And I'm slowly working on building on collecting a lot of the tag teams again. Not specifically the alt arts, even though I have a few of them, but even just the regular tag teams were really, really fun. So hopefully I can get my hands on a few of those. So here, this is another card that was from one of the tag team sets, but this is the Chinese variant. Again, this is just Blastoise. Love the artwork on this one. Just full Hydro Pump, both cannons right there. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, absolutely beautiful card there. Thought I'd try my luck with that one. So actually, to be honest, I don't, and please someone correct me in the comments. This is either Chinese or it's Thai. I don't want to mix those up. I don't want to offend anybody. But if anyone wants to go ahead and quick Google translate the language, please let me know in chat or leave the comment if you're watching this after the fact. On to the next. Now, this one I definitely know is Japanese. I got this from a good friend over on Instagram who was kind of selling their collection. They were kind of done with the hobby, unfortunately. And I was able to pick up this and a bunch of their other absolutely amazing cards. And some of them you're going to see in this as well. And I told Keddy that, you know, if and when I start grading stuff, obviously I'm going to let him know, especially when the results come back, because everything I bought from him is for the personal collection, and I wanted to carry on his collection through me. So Keddy, if you're watching this, bro, again, I thank you so much for all the cards that you entrusted me with, and they're in good hands. And I hope you're doing well. It's been a little bit since we've chatted. But thank you. It is Korean. Gotcha. Thank you very much. I was close. I was in the region. Thank you, Ab. Appreciate you. But yeah, so this is the Hyper Rare Blastoise GX. Absolutely beautiful card there. Unfortunately, I don't have this in the English variant, but one day I will. But the Japanese variant is just as awesome, and I truly miss seeing these old Hyper Rares. But yeah, another absolutely beautiful Blastoise. Now this one, talk about beautiful Blastoise. You guys have seen this before, and I've graded this a few times. This one is the one that's in probably the better shape of any of the ones I've graded before. So fingers crossed we can get a higher grade on this one. But yeah, absolutely beautiful promo here. I am still working on trying to get the Japanese variant, which is close to double the price of the English one now. But this is from 2016. This is from the XY Generations, or the Mythic Collection boxes that they were doing, the promo boxes at the time. This one's cool because it's got Blastoise, it's got Gyarados. You see Vaporeon in the background. So really, really awesome promo. One of my favorite artworks for Blastoise. And it's from one of my favorite illustrators that does more anime style artwork. But yeah, an absolutely beautiful card there. Can't wait to see how that one grades, especially because I've graded a few before. You know, coming off of the latest black and white sets that came out, a little bit of a blast of the past with some of the older and original black and white set cards. We have the Blastoise here. Again, you can tell it's the black and white era, not only from the name on the bottom, but this pattern here, right? This was a unique pattern that they did bring back for the latest black and white era. Let me see if I can make some adjustments real quick. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit. It's going to get a little bit brighter in here, but I think it's warranted. So let me know how that lighting looks, if that's any better. I hope it is, because it's going to burn through these batteries faster. But it's all right. Anyway, Blastoise from the Black and White era Holo. Very, very cool card. Again, I wasn't the biggest fan of Black and White era, but, you know, got to represent Blastoise. So on to the next. And this is a big one. You guys have seen this card before. It's an absolute beauty. The Blastoise. This is the secret rare. I want to say it's from Plasma Blast. If I got that correct, please let me know in the comments. If I said the wrong set, please correct me. But yeah, an absolutely beautiful secret rare. This is actually a shiny variant of Blastoise if you've never seen this card before. This card is from 2012, so we're looking at almost 13 years old, or actually it is 13 years old. Picked this up at a show. Again, absolutely beautiful. I know it's not in the best shape, but damn is this card awesome. And again, it's very, very expensive, even ungraded. So getting this graded is just inherently going to add value to it. And I'm excited to see how this turns out, just like everything else. Next, another absolutely awesome Blastoise card here. You get a little bit more of that 3D Blastoise. So this is from the Diamond and Pearl era. Got a couple different variants of this, right? Which is cool because this one here, as you can see, it's got a pretty sweet print line there. As you can see right in this area right here, it's got a print line all the way through. Now that is a factory defect, and from my knowledge and experience, it's not something that's, you know, they don't harp on it too much unless there's a bunch of them. So hopefully you still get a decent grade out of this. If there's multiple print lines, or they were across the face, or, you know, there's more scratches than print lines, it would have affected this a lot more. But I do have all the different variants. So the Holo, the Reverse Holo, and the Japanese variant. These cards have gone up in price too lately, which is insane. But yeah, so all three of these here. Super excited to see how they grade. On to the next. We got three more in this stack. Hopefully someone's counting so you guys can kind of put two and two together and figure out. Yeah, and that's the thing too, Rabbit. So that's one of those things where I'm hopeful that I can still get a good grade even with that print line. But we shall see. All right, on to the next. We get these stamped Crystal Guardians Blastoise. Now, you got to remember, in this era here, if you see the stamp, that's the Reverse Holo. The regular Holos were just, you know, regular Holos. But kind of miss seeing these old reverses like that. But yeah, absolutely awesome Blastoise there. This card's from 2006. So you see we're getting older and older and older, which might give you a little bit of a hint to what's in here. But absolutely beautiful card. Now, another card in that is the Delta Species Crystal Guardians Reverse Blastoise. Another absolutely beautiful card. It's got the gold border on there. It's got a little bit of... so Blastoise itself is actually holographic and a little bit textured there. It's got the gold text for the name. And I've had this card before, but I thought, hey, you know what? I might as well get both iterations. So we have... Look at how different the Japanese variant is versus the English. And again, I'm going to take all these out of the sleeves here in a little bit. I'm going to go through all of them. I know the lighting's not perfect, but we'll make do with what we got. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. Super excited to see how these grade. But there is the first 25 cards in this submission. So, someone's putting two and two together. You can kind of guess why, number one, it's the 50th submission, and how big I'm going with this one. So, let me put all these back in the correct order. We will revisit these here in just a few minutes. But yeah, as you guys can tell, I've been sitting on a lot of these for a long time, and a lot of different variants of Blastoise. And again, as time goes on and as they put out more Blastoise cards and I start collecting more and more of the rarer ones, we'll get them graded as well. So my goal is to get as many different variants of Blastoise, from the very, very original start and all the other weird stickers and variants, all the way to the latest and greatest. And hopefully they keep continuing doing some awesome SIRs, SARs of Blastoise. But all right, so stack number one. Again, we'll revisit this here in just a few minutes. But here we go. Second half of this submission. And yes, we are grading 50 Blastoise cards. I'm so excited for this. And again, a lot of these cards I've been sitting on for a long time. You guys have seen the submission previews. You guys have seen the collection before. But again, for the 50th submission, I thought it only made sense to grade 50 Blastoise cards. But here we go. Flip on over. And we're going to start here. So, you guys have seen this one before. I have graded this before. It got an absolutely terrible grade. I think it's one of my lowest graded Blastoise. I think it's like a 2.5 or a 3.5. But this is Sid's Blastoise. This is from 2004. This is from the Versus or VS series. We never saw this in English. It was a very, very exclusive Japanese set. And it's crazy expensive. Even some of the cards, if you find any of the packs, and they were like some of the OG jumbo packs, even individual packs for Versus or VS, absolutely insane how expensive they are. But when I bought this one, it's in a near mint condition, and I think to my own standings and standard, this is definitely near mint. So we got a really good shot to get a really nice grade for this one. Fingers crossed. It is a non-holo, but it's still an absolutely beautiful card, a very unique Blastoise artwork. But on to the next. And if you guys really like this one, well, it's only going to get better from here, folks. Again, we're getting into some of the older Blastoise here. So, this is the reverse holo Blastoise. This is from, I want to say, obviously it's an e-reader from 2002. Now, I do not have the regular holo of this, which I would love to have at some point in time, but it was nice to pick this up. Absolutely beautiful card there again. If you guys aren't familiar with the E-Series and the e-reader cards, when the Game Boy Advance came out, there was a e-reader scanner that you can plug into the top, and you could swipe some of these e-reader cards into the games that you were playing. And this wasn't just for Pokemon. There's a lot of other games that had e-reader cards. Yeah, I want to say it was Expedition Wabbit. I just wasn't 100% sure, so I appreciate that. But again, an absolutely beautiful Blastoise. Really, really sick artwork there. Again, he's kind of half in, half out of the water, but you know he's steaming right towards you. One day I will have the holographic version, and I'll get that grade as well. But on to the next. All right, so when Wabbit was talking about, you know, some of my favorite artworks, well, this one's definitely in the top 3 for sure. This is good old Dark Blastoise. And the thing that's special about this is from the Legendary Collection. Unfortunately, I don't have the regular reverse holo for Legendary Collection. If you guys remember, let me take this off the wall because it's right next to me. I do have the box topper variant of this, and yes, this is graded by CGC. It's the only one graded by CGC, and I framed this myself. I know it's fancy. But, and just size comparison, right? So that's what it looks like. You can get this reverse holo pattern in the regular size, which again, that's another card I'm working towards. It is very, very expensive, even in poor condition. But yeah, so I already have the box topper. Now I just need to get the regular reverse. And this is also the only set that they ever did that crazy firework holographic pattern. But so we got the non-holo from Legendary Collection. Again, I want to get the reverse holo. So it's a work in progress. I've got some eyes on them. All right, on to the next. Non-holo Dark Blastoise from the OG and the best Team Rocket set they ever did, the good old Team Rocket set. On the Japanese side, it was called Rocket Gang. But this, and again, you got the Dark Pokemon, right? They should have kept with that. I've ranted enough about the glory of the Team Rocket set and how terrible Destined Rivals is. I'm not going to drag that out any longer. But yeah, good old Dark Blastoise, non-holo, non-first edition. But, you know, I keep talking about how much I really, really like Dark Blastoise. Well, I'm just going to kind of put these out there. So, I thought I'd try my luck, and I got a bunch of different ones here, all varying in conditions, right? But let me flip this over for just a second. I don't want to spoil what's coming next. But I thought I would try my luck. So, and again, I know these are going to vary in conditions, but a lot of these I got from Ketty and from other people, so I know there's some potential for some really high grades here. If we pull a 10, I'll freak out. I doubt we're going to see a pristine, but hey, you know what? Someone referenced this video once we do the recap if we do end up getting a pristine. But again, all varying conditions, right? I know centering's kind of weird on these. Some of these are in really awesome shape and other ones aren't. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chances to get a lot of different varying Dark Blastoise grades here. But again, this is one of my favorite artworks, so I thought I would try my luck and yeah, just grade a whole bunch of them. All right, let me move these down here. So again, and try my luck with good old Dark Blastoise. Again, definitely part of top 3 favorite artworks in terms of Blastoise. So here we go. Now, again, as you can tell, we're getting older and older here, but let's keep rolling. Now, you may think, oh, hey, look, it's base set Blastoise, right? I was talking about this earlier. Does anyone notice what's special about this card? I'll give you a few minutes. I know there's only a couple of you in chat, but can someone notice what is special about this Blastoise? It is base set. It's not a base set 2. It's not Legendary Collection. It's not some 2020, reprint or anything crazy. But there is something very special about this card, and one of the reasons why I had to get it, add it to the collection, and inevitably grade it. So, put this down for a second, bring it in close, see if anyone in the comments can call it out. I'll give you just a few more seconds to see if you can call out what is so special about this Blastoise. And I'm glad that I got this. It's in really good shape. It's not perfect by any means, but I think it's going to be awesome, especially with what I'm trying to hint to before I give it away. Anybody at all? Anybody, just throw a guess out there. It's not shadowless. It's not some weird test print. There is something special about this, though. All right. Give it a few more seconds. I'm going to set this down. I'm going to stand up for a second. Got to remember to stretch. My back is absolutely killing me. It's a good thing at work that I have one of those adjustable desks, so I can literally just sit and stand anytime I want. And I try and force myself to do a lot of standing at work because, sitting in chairs all day is not really the best thing for you, even though I absolutely enjoy it. All right. I'm just going to get into it. So, what is special about this Blastoise? It's actually an error card. Yes, E-R-R-O-R. I know I say words weird, but this is an error Blastoise. Now, what the error is there's that red dot right there, right above that water symbol. This is a known error for this card. For some reason, there was just a random batch of these cards that got a red dot above that water symbol, and it's a known error for all the grading companies. So, if this grades very, very high, because this doesn't really affect the overall condition of the card, you can potentially get this card in a 10, or maybe even a pristine 10, with that dot error right there. I'm hoping for high grade on this would be sick, but the other thing that's going to be cool is this is going to be my first error Blastoise that I'm going to have, and I thought it was perfect to have a vintage error to be that first one. So, and again, you'll see it when these come back. You'll see next to the score, whatever the score is, it's going to say error underneath it, and to the left, it's going to say red dot error. But yeah, super sick. Super glad to have this in the collection. Again, this card's in really, really good shape. Got some great centering on it. I'm going to try and go through these again in a little bit, but all right, without further ado, we keep getting older and older here. This next one, it's one I've had in my collection already, but this one's a little more special. So without further ado, let's peel this away and show you guys what's underneath the good old red dot error there. So here we go. Good old shadowless Blastoise. As much as I wish it was a first edition, I would gladly take this. Now, there's something very special about this card as well. And unfortunately, it's not anything crazy. Yes, this is a shadowless, right? You see the text is different. If you compare these two, right, you see how a lot of the things are different, right? The text shape and overall size is different. They thinned out a lot of the HP stuff. There's no shadow here. But the thing that's unique about this, and I'm going to take this card out. I truly hope you guys can see this as you get a little bit of a preview. Let me hide what's underneath it if you guys didn't see it. So the thing that's cool about this is this card is not in great shape, not by any means. So what I'm trying to do here is I found this. I want to say I got this on Instagram. Let me try. I don't know if this is capturing it well enough, and I apologize. But I think the back should be able to be seen, and the reason why I got this card. So this Blastoise has a pretty sweet crease on it, and it's actually a cross crease. So there's a crease this way and this way across the back of the card. And again, you know, centering is great. The centering looks amazing, but the edges are absolutely mangled. There's no like actual rips and tears in the card, which would lower the grade more and more. But I have two of these. This one was in the worst shape, so not only am I going for my first graded Shadowless Blastoise, I'm trying to get the lowest graded Blastoise that I have in my collection. And again, I thought it'd be kind of cool to have it with one of the very first Blastoise that they ever created, the good old Shadowless Blastoise. So, yeah, absolutely beautiful card. Again, it is beat up very, very poorly, unfortunately, but I'm going to have a graded cross crease Shadowless Blastoise. Super excited to see how that turns out. I know it's going to be a super low grade. Kind of hoping it's one of my lowest grades. But I do have another one in the binder with the completed Shadowless set. But there we go. Good old Shadowless Blastoise. All right, so to keep these things in order, on to the next. So the next Blastoise I'm going to show you is part of my top 3 favorite artworks of all time. Now, little spoiler, there's 2 variants. And yes, I have both variants here. So here we go. Shadowless Blastoise. I'm going to put you off to the side. So, absolutely beautiful Blastoise here. You guys are very familiar with this artwork. You guys seen this in a lot of the original packaging for Pokemon, a lot of the original advertisement. This is one of the original artworks for Blastoise. Now, you see a little Squirtle right there on the side. This came from the VHS tape that came with 2 different like mini decks, if you will. So there came a Squirtle deck and a Bulbasaur deck. Obviously, we got the Blastoise in this one, and then the Venusaur came in the other one. Got a wicked sweet swirl right there. Super excited about that. And actually, let me grab something real quick, because if I remember correctly, and yes, they're sitting right here. Man, my memory still works. I love it. So, again, here is the Blastoise from that, and here's the Venusaur, which I am planning on grading the Venusaurs at some point in time. It's not a part of this submission, but in the VHS tape, you got 2 decks, right? And there were mini decks, 1 Squirtle, 1 Bulbasaur, and these were the 2 absolutely beautiful hollows that you got in them. So, I've got not only 1, not 2, but I have 3 of them. So as you guys have seen before, I have graded the other variant of this. I've never graded the VHS variant before. And all 3 of these are in really, really good shape. I'm pretty sure all of them have swirls. Like, look at that giant swirl right there. Absolutely insane. But yeah, so I have 3 of these to try. And then I said, you know what? That's not enough, right? If I'm going to go for that one, I might as well go for the other variant also, which you guys have seen this before. This is the one from the 1998 CD promo collection. Which, if you guys remember, from a very, very old submission of mine, and man, this is some flashback stream right here. This is the one I graded before. I bought this card raw, got it graded, old CGC label, by the way. Got the Mint 9 in this one. So I'm hoping, out of any of these, right, obviously, you know, this is the CD promo one, these are the VHS, but let me put this back, hold on. I'm hoping, out of all the ones that I have here, that we can snag maybe another 9, maybe a 10. If we get a pristine, I will absolutely lose my mind. I might even do a face reveal if we get a pristine for any of these. There you go. You see how high the stakes are? I've never shown my face. There's only a handful of people I know what the hell this guy looks like. If we get a pristine in any of these, and yes, 6 opportunities, 6 chances, all absolutely beautiful. But yeah, maybe that kind of, oh, well, got to see what's coming next. But yeah, 6 chances here again, the VHS promo and the CD promo. Yeah, I'm going to try my luck and see if we can get a very, very nice high grade for this. And again, all absolutely beautiful. But those are my 3 favorite artworks of all time. You got the Dark Blastoise, you got base set Blastoise, and then you have the promo Blastoise. So you guys already kind of saw what's coming next, but let's slide this over just a little bit. Again, all absolutely beautiful artworks. Again, you guys know I'm a big Blastoise fan, and it shows. All right, on to the next. So as you saw here, you've seen this guy before. You may not recognize where it's from. This predates the actual TCG. This is when Bandai, yes, Bandai, was doing Pokemon cards. So this is the Pocket Monsters, also known as the Cardass or Cardass versions of Pokemon cards. So there was a green deck, or a green, yeah, the green set and the red set. Now it's got all the original 151 all in green. So it's a CD. So I'm glad that you mentioned it. So hold on one second, Wabbit. I'll show you. So this is the CD it came from. And yes, I have a sealed copy of this, and all those beautiful promos are in there. But it came from this CD. And again, it's just got a bunch of different songs on it, a bunch of tracks from Pikachu Records. But yeah, this is the CD that it came from. And then again, these came from the VHS tape. So let me put this back. Oh, and also, while I'm thinking about it, I have both variants of Venusaur as well, which I will grade at some point. VHS tape, CD promo. Yeah, I'm trying to get a sealed copy of the VHS. They're crazy, crazy expensive. Yeah, absolutely, Wabbit. But yeah, I'm trying to get a sealed VHS tape to kind of complete that part of the collection. But as I was saying, so here, Cardass or Cardass, red and blue, or red, blue, sorry, red and green. My brain's mush already, sorry. But yeah, so you got the original 151. Not all of them came in hollows, obviously. But that's what the back of the cards look like. They had the original sprite, some of the information. But again, these are from 1995. Again, predates the TCG, right? And there's another company that did Pokemon cards before the TCG actually came out, which is right here. You guys may have seen this before. Again, same artwork. Make sure I keep these in order. Actually, I'm gonna move these down here, right? Because we're kind of winding down. So again, red deck, green deck, and then the split. So this is from Top Sun, which is even older than the Bandai cards. It's again, we're talking about like OG Pokemon before the TCG. This is it right here. This is as old as it gets. You get Bandai, and then you get Top Sun. Now, I'm gonna pull this off just because there's different variants of this, right? So there is the green back variant, which I have here. There is a blue back variant, which I'm still trying to track down. If anyone has, please reach out to me. I'd love to add it to the collection. But yeah, so this is as old as it gets. And as you can tell, as I mess everything up, definitely a different card size, right? So as you can look here, these cards are kind of similar in size. Obviously much smaller than traditional Pokemon cards. But again, these came out before the actual TCG did. And I think this is what, eventually led to them making the TCG. But yeah, so again, very, very vintage. Again, as old as it can get. It took me forever to get these things, and they're in great shape. So fingers crossed we get some high grades for these as well. Now, 3 cards left. And these are a bit weird. They're a little more unique, if you will, because it's something that is very, very old and around the same time frame as these 3 absolutely beautiful cards here. But here we go. So this one, let me forgot that this is a different size. So this one's not as old, unfortunately. So I got backtracked a little bit. This one's not as old. You can see a little bit of a card size difference, much smaller. So even in comparison to the Top Sun card, very, very small. This is actually a sticker. This is from 2018. But yeah, this is a sticker Really, really neat. And again, it came out, again, 2018. I don't know much information about this outside of that. It's a mini card or a sticker, if you will. Very, very cool artwork. Again, it's got the traditional Blastoise on there. You see some of the other Pokemon in the backdrop there. But I know my company, or the company I work for, grades these, and they have a holder that fits this perfectly. So that's going to be super neat to get graded there. And yes, I could have put this towards the front, towards the more modern stuff, but it's all right. All right, last two. These are really, really old, really, really weird. Something that, again, you don't really see. But here we go. Good old Pocket Monsters, right? Number 1162. You probably think this is fake. This is a sticker that, again, was part of the old vending series, right? Before the actual vending machine series that they created. This was before. And the back of it has seal on it. Every single one of these had a different back on it, which was kind of neat. So you kind of got two cards in one. But again, this is a sticker. You could peel this off, put on your backpack or your binder or whatever you wanted to. But luckily, I found one intact. It's got that really crazy hollow foil pattern on it. But we do grade these as well. So that's the other reason why I added it to the pile. And last, definitely not least, can't believe we finally got here. Showing off all 50. And again, a bunch of different variants, some crazy old stuff, some of the latest and greatest. But this is awesome because this is a 2-in-1 for me. And it's one of the oldest cards I could find. But without further ado, here we go. Look at this. So these are some of the Versus cards, which again, looks kind of crazy, but you have Blastoise against Dragonite. Again, a nice 2-for-1 here. It's a little bit of a smaller card here. This is the Pocket Monster variants. But yeah, absolutely amazing. Again, I dug deep. I searched everywhere for some of these old cards, right? But I thought this was so perfect, especially to be one of the last things graded, because it is Dragonite and Blastoise there. It looks awkward because Blastoise is freaking huge. Dragonite looks like the XL, or not the XL, the extra small variant, if you will. But yeah, so there we go. Those are the 50 different Blastoise that I'm going to get graded. And again, I'm going to go through these. Again, I know the lighting's not super great on your guys' end, but there's another camera bump for you. I'm going to go through. I'm going to take a lot of these out of the sleeve. Now, no, I'm not wearing gloves. It's actually, I wouldn't recommend wearing gloves, especially if you're trying to be delicate, because you lose that sense of feel in all your fingertips, and you have a higher chance of actually dropping the card with gloves on, or potentially causing more damage with it. So I'll be using my bear claws here, and just going through these cards here. So, what do you guys think? What's your favorite card in this batch here? Again, 50 Blastoise cards, absolutely insane. But yeah, again, this is CGC submission number 50. I'm super excited about it. I think this is the best way to do such a big submission here. Now, hopefully, a little bit of, I won't say insider info, but this is why I wanted to do this at this time. My hope is that, yes, this is the end of September, but I'm hoping to have this submission done and back by my birthday, which is in the end of October. So again, fingers crossed. I really, really hope that these can get done and get a quick turnaround, because if they do come back before my birthday, I will show you when they come in, but I will not open them and reveal them until my actual birthday. If you guys remember last year when my birthday is, go back and look at that video so you know what date it's going to be. But during that stream, if these are done by my birthday, I will be showing off this submission for, a little bit of a birthday present to me. So I'm super excited. I hope they get done in time. If not, they'll get graded when they get graded, and we'll reveal them at some time. I'm hoping it'd be perfect to have them by then. It gives plenty of time for them to go and come back. But again, there's other people that are more of a priority than me for sure when it comes to getting stuff graded. So that's pretty much it. Again, I'm going to go through all these if you want to hang out and chat for a little bit. I appreciate everyone that came through. But yeah, I'm just going to go through all these. I'm going to try and clean them up a little bit. Got my nice little microfiber here. And again, I'm not using any kind of polish or any kind of cleaner or anything like that. It's not worth it. I just want to see if I can clean up any of the little surface dust or any of the little debris that's on these cards. And then again, as soon as the stream ends and this gets uploaded, I'm going to go into the website, finalize the order, and then I'm going to actually print this off, get them reboxed up. Ooh, one thing I'll show you guys before you leave, and hopefully no one already left. There is one more thing I want to show you, and I showed this off on Instagram the other day, but I thought it'd be perfect timing to show it during the stream, is a brand new binder that I got. Shout out to good old Swolex on Instagram. Just happened to see you in my For You page, and I'm so glad I did. It's going to be tough to show, but if you guys remember, I showed this off on Instagram the other day. So there is Swolex's his own custom label, and hey, a little bit of feedback, dude. I love the binder. This is sick. I wish you could make this just a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller, moving to the corner, get more focus on this. Hey, I know this is your brand, and I don't want to take away from that, but just some customer feedback, bro. I love it, but if you can make it just a little bit smaller, you can make this image much bigger. I'm going to lean this back just for a second so you guys can see. As I'm going to drop this here. So let me just do it this way as I'm messing this up. Hold on. There's a better way to do this. Let me fix this real quick before I knock the tripod over. All right. So let me move this back 1 second. See, this is what happens when I try and do something innovative instead of just sticking to what works, right? All right, let me slide this over a little bit again. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this back down. Actually, you can kind of see right there. Actually, that's even better. Look at that. I did it without having messing anything up. This is all etched into the binder. Super sick design. And he's got a bunch of different designs on his Instagram, so go check him out. He does custom designs as well, so I already told him to reach out and said, hey, I might do my logo, which again, for those of you that don't remember what it looks like, I may get this logo on a binder in the future. Maybe a different color, maybe a different blue, but I think it'd be sick to have my own binder. Yeah, I'm going to work that out with him and see if I can get that done. But yeah, super sick binder again. Shout out to Swolex. Or I'm actually, sorry, it's XSwoleX over on Instagram. Yeah, thank you so much for this. I'm looking forward to getting my next one, but that's pretty much it. And again, guys, I'm going to hang out for a little bit. I'm going to go through all these cards and see if I could see what I can do for them. Again, I'm not using any kind of polish or anything crazy because it's not worth it. Yeah, definitely a sick binder. Again, gave the feedback and hopefully he takes it. Again, there's no offense to that. You run your business as you see fit, but all right. So again, that's going to do it for the stream. If you want to hang out, you want to chit-chat a little bit, you want to catch up. So for Sunday, a little bit of a preview, and I'm finally going to get to this. Finally, we will finally be going through and setting these up, right? We have and these came from my boy Alex over at /frag. He picked these up while he was in Japan. So not only are we going to have a Lego Blastoise to add to everything else, but we're going to have this super awesome layered display image. And this one's going to be awesome, also known as the paper theater. I guess that's a better way to say it. But this image is going to be done, but all these are little individual pieces, and they're all layered. You can see all the different layers. This is a 3 out of 5 difficulty. I know the one he got for his kids was a 4 out of 5 with all the EVs. But yes, we will finally be doing this on Sunday, so keep an eye out for that. Next Friday, we will have a Final Fantasy Friday stream, so keep an eye out for that as well. But yeah, let me get into this. So, and again, these are how I'm going to submit these. And again, I do it because it's super easy like this. You push the card out, and you're good to go there. Now, I'm going to try something here. And I'm going to give you guys a heads up. I apologize ahead of time. There might be a bit of a glare that comes onto screen here in just a few seconds. What's going on, Hilario? It's been great. It's great to be back. Thank you for popping in. yeah, it's been going great. I'm really enjoying it. I just showed off the big number 50 submission. So, again, a little bit of a flash warning here. Just brace yourself. I'm going to try something here. All right, so, this might work. Kinda. Again, I put a headlamp on, which I know is just adding glare to everything, but you can see how beautiful this card is. At work, I don't have a headlamp. Obviously, I just have a really cool desk lamp, but I'm trying to find a way to do this. Maybe this is a little bit better, maybe not. I don't know what you guys think. Is the headlamp worth it? Is this really showing it off for you, or should I ditch it? Just trying to show off a little more detail in these cards here. I don't know. Let me know if this is working. If it's too much, I'll kill the headlamp. But yeah, you can see just how much detail is in this card. It looks absolutely insane with all the different texture there. I love all these Chinese variants. But yeah, I can tell on this one already, just by looking at this. And again, it's going to be a little bit harder to see. Let me do away with the headlamp here. You guys let me know if you thought it worked or not. I do want to get a little bit better lighting, get some nice overhead lighting. It'd be really, really neat. Let me see if this will help actually, which it probably won't, but let me try. I'm going to try and MacGyver something here. All right, so let's see if this will work. It probably won't, but brace yourself here. All right, so let's try this. Maybe this will work, maybe it won't. No, Wabbit, to be completely honest, I don't think it will. It's in such a boom right now, I don't think that's going to change. Unless the Pokemon Company does something absolutely diabolical to ruin that. Yeah, I don't see it changing anytime soon. Which, again, is unfortunate because it does affect a lot of people in the community. But, again, they're a profit organization, and they're making pure profit. So, yeah, take it for what it is. But, again, I'm kind of skipping out on this next gen here. I do want to catch up on some of the other ones. Sorry for all the swinging light. I'm still trying to get this maybe a better angle. But, no, the Pokemon Madness is not going to stop. Even today, right, they opened up pre-orders for that brand new Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. It was down in about 30 seconds. It's just riddled with bots. Pokemon Company doesn't care. Just my own opinion there. Again, speaking for myself here, not speaking on behalf of anybody. As long as orders are being placed, they don't care who places them, right? Even though it's bots that lock in hundreds of orders at a time. But anyway, I digress. So looking at this card here, and again, I'm not giving any insider info or anything. I'm just giving my own take on how I'm looking at my own cards. So I want to clip that in case someone wants to come back at me and start complaining. So there is something neat on this here, right? And there are print lines on this card. Man, I was really hoping to get a better viewpoint on this here. This isn't going to work as much as I hoped. Does that kind of work? Does that wash it out? I don't know. I'm trying to make this work here, but a little bit of glare. So for my end here, and again, it's going to be tough for you guys to see, so I apologize for all the glare. There are a couple print lines right here, but again, most grading companies, as I say most, aren't overly concerned with print lines, right? It's when they, either there's multiple, right? So you kind of see the print line right here. When there's multiple or there's scratches, that's where it becomes a concern. The other cool thing about this is there is another print line, but this is a jagged print line. It's going to be really tough to see, but you kind of see it on this lane right here. Again, I apologize for the poor lighting. So the reason how that comes to be is because of how this pattern is laid. It causes those little print lines there. So you get a little bit of the zigzag in that print line there. But honestly, overall, between the print line and that, it's not too big of a deal. You flip it over and look at the back. Super, super clean, right? And again, I don't know how the lighting looks on this. Someone please let me know. If this is too bright, if it's watering everything, or if it's washing everything out, please let me know. But again, super clean card here. A lot of the Japanese card stock is way better than a lot of the English card stock as of late. But again, really No defects here. There's a little bit of smudges on the sides here, but those corners are super clean. I'm going to see if I can wipe that just a little bit. So how I go about doing this, right, so I don't further damage the card, kind of feed it in just halfway, and then you get your microfiber cloth. Okay, gotcha. And again, I know it's super weird. You get your microfiber cloth. Don't really press too hard. You're kind of just doing small wiping motions and wipe away, right? And don't use a lot of pressure. Don't go crazy and kind of wipe over and over and over and over again, because if you wipe hard enough, you will eventually start wearing away some of that ink on the back of it. But yeah, in theory, just small little circles. See if you can clean up any of that little debris that's on there. And this works for modern cards, vintage cards. Obviously, with more vintage, you want to be a little more delicate. But yeah, I got a little bit of it off. But there's a little bit of scuffs right there on the Pokeball. Again, a little bit harder to see here. Really wish I had like an actual camera. You kind of see one of the scuffs right there. Small little scuff. But yeah, overall, this card is very, very clean. I'm not going to give you my own personal grades, right? I know I was going to mention, like, oh, just pre-grade all these. I'll leave my opinion out of it because I don't want people to start speculating anything. I have an idea in my head on how these are going to grade. But again, for right now, I'm kind of just seeing if I can clean them up a little bit, if possible. And again, I'm just kind of hanging out. I just want to chat with you guys. We're 72 minutes into the stream. And I appreciate everyone coming out. I know it's a little bit later in the day. But again, I truly appreciate you guys. I'm looking forward to getting back into a regular streaming routine. But yeah, again, feel free to come and go as you see fit. I'm going to be here for a while going through these. And again, just giving my own assessment, things to look out for your own cards. Here we go. On to the next, Blastoise EX. All right. Absolutely beautiful card here. The headlamp is kind of working. All right. So here, when I look at these here, right, you're looking for centering. And centering is tough on these because you have a lot of these effects on the sides to kind of get in the way of that. Easy way to do it is to look at it from all angles, right? So you're trying to match up these borders here, and then you can look at these top borders and see if they've shifted, right? I know there's thresholds for every grading company. I'm not going to go into those details. You can research them on your own. But looking at this one here, looks like it's in really good shape centering-wise. I actually have, so one of the tools that you can utilize, which we use here, this is called a loop. Now, a lot of this is used for like people that do any kind of jewelry or mint or gems or anything like that. It's the same kind of tool, so you may have seen this before. But in theory, it's this nice little tool. It does come with like different lights on it, but it has huge magnification there. I don't ever use any of the lights personally, but again, it's got that little magnified lens in there, so you can kind of get super close, and you can look at things here. A little more zoomed in here. Obviously, you're not really going to be able to see it too much here. But if you don't hold it at the right angle, you see how it starts reversing the image there. And it gets kind of blurry. So a little bit tough to see through this here and through the camera. But you kind of just go over the cards. If you see anything you think is a scratch or a dent or a ding, this tool really, really helps to kind of look over that. And again, it does have a built-in light, which I don't necessarily use. Let's see if it'll actually even turn on. So there we go. It does have its own little built-in light, and it has UV as well. Let me turn this off for a second. So it's not super bright, and obviously, you know, now it kind of dims everything out. But even if you were to use it on the side, right, you can see how much light that gives off, and you're able to pick up a little more detail. But again, with how my desk is set up, it just has a nice overhead light, so I don't need to use the light on this. And turn this back on. There we go. Bring this down just a little bit like that. Sorry for the shaking light. Don't worry, no one's being interrogated. But again, really awesome tool. It's something that's really available. It's not like it's a top secret thing that only we have. But yeah, super neat. Something I use all the time. But I'm going to go without it and just go off of old brain and eyes here. Not really seeing any kind of defects or anything like that on the front. Again, centering looks really, really well on this. So off to a great start. Let's flip it over. All right, so here, so some of the issues you run into with with a lot of the modern English cards. And it's unfortunate because it's really just because they're mass producing cards and they don't take a lot of time. So you see some of these corners here, and it might be a little bit hard to see, but you kind of see there, if I angle a little bit, you see the light pass across. You see how it reflects a certain way and it looks like it's lipped up a little bit? Well, it is. And it's a little more prevalent on this bottom corner there. So you kind of see right there where it shows a little bit of that white edge there. And you get a little bit of dot there. So the reason why that happens is with how this card is cut. It's cut from this way, from whatever the machine is or however they used to cut it. So that's how you get a little bit of the effects where it looks like it's not super clean there. And again, that's due to either like a dull blade or the blade not being super sharp, or they stack too many to go in for the cut. But again, because they're mass producing these cards and cutting them super fast, you run into that. Now, it's not always going to greatly depreciate the value of your card. But again, it is something that you take into consideration, right? Obviously, any kind of whitening or anything like that, that's something you don't want. But if it's minimal, it's not the end of the world. So keep that in mind as well. But again, even with the what we call them factory cut corners, it's not bad. It's in pretty good shape. Obviously, you get a little white dot on the bottom here, so that's going to bring down the grade a little bit. But so overall, I think it looks really, really nice. I'm not going to give my overall grades here, guys. You can make your own assumptions or your own grades. I'm just doing it to kind of cover my own ass, if you will, right? For lack of better terms. I just don't want anyone trying to come after me for anything, especially with the knowledge that I have, right? All right, next. Absolutely beautiful. You guys have seen this a whole bunch. We're going to get up close and personal. Absolutely beautiful. SAR. Japanese Blastoise EX. Absolutely beautiful. You see all the texture on this card. It looks absolutely insane, especially when the light hits this thing. You get all the different hues of all the different colors in here too. Just absolutely stunning. So now these cards here, you can imagine with all that effect, it's very tough to look at these and try and, figure out if there's any kind of damage on it. So you can kind of hold it at different angles, right? And try to get it out of that direct light. So here, like, you can lean it over and see if there's any scratches. It also helps kind of lean a little bit to kind of get that centering. Centering on this one looks really, really nice. I want to say it's shifted just a little bit. You kind of see it there from left to right. But it's slight, and again, there are thresholds, right? So it's not the end of the world if it's slightly off. But yeah, this one looks really, really nice. I'm going to flip over. Look at the back. Now, again, it's a little bit tougher with Japanese backs because outside of the vintage backs, the blue just kind of fades into the gold or the brown, whatever color you want to call that. So it is a little bit tougher. I do notice something on this one almost immediately, which is unfortunate because, again, this card is absolutely beautiful. But I wonder if I can get it on camera here. Maybe, maybe not. But right here in this top corner, there's a little bit of a scratch or an indent. Let's see. It's right by the P. It's a little bit tougher to see. Maybe not doing so well picking up on camera. There you go. You kind of see it just a little bit. So it's like a hybrid between like a scratch and an indent because it only goes through a certain layer. But yeah, that's unfortunate. And it's a little more noticeable as you sheen it into the light. But again, that does affect the overall quality of the card. Still absolutely beautiful. Again, I can't complain. I'm sitting on 2 of these in pristine. I've got the Gem Mint in English, so I'll take what I can get here. I'm just excited to get another one graded. But again, these are the kind of things you look at. And again, I know there's people that when they decide to grade stuff, they're trying to get the best of the best and the highest grades, which, yeah, I mean, that makes sense, especially if you're planning on trying to sell your stuff or do anything like that. But because these cards are staying in the personal collection, I don't care how it grades, honestly. I just want it protected. May have to stand up for a little bit. My back is starting to hurt. All right. I honestly don't know how many more of these I'm going to be able to get through, guys. I'm going to do my best to try and get through as many as I can. But, yeah. So already 9 o'clock, plus the old back starting to hurt. And I still have work tomorrow. But let me see if I can... let me see if I can tough this out just a little bit more. Appreciate you guys hanging out. All right, so here we have the SR, right? Good old secret rare or super rare. Good old full art Blastoise here. Again, absolutely insane to see the texture on this thing. Just all the different patterns on this. Absolutely beautiful card. Now again, looking at centering. Centering looks really, really nice. And most of the time, Japanese card quality and Chinese card quality is so much better than English. They really do care about the overall quality and control of these cards. Where on the English side, again, my opinion, they're just turning burning, right? They're trying to push out as many cards as they can. But it's good to see even in some of the more recent Japanese sets that they're still holding that consideration. Now, some of the things you might be able to see on here, right? There's a little bit of texturing issues, so you can see right above his nose there, kind of in between his forehead. You'll get every once in a while where there's like a little bit of a texture indifference. It's not necessarily saying that like a piece of the texture flaked off, but maybe it's just laying a different direction. So it looks like, it looks like it's chipped or there's some kind of issue with it. It's really not. It's kind of a factory defect, if you will, but it's not anything major. You kind of see it right there. I know there's a little bit of glare there, but you kind of see it right there. But from what I can see here, I don't see any other scratches or any print lines on the front. Yeah, so nothing too crazy here. It looks nice. I'm going to flip over. Yeah, again, looks super clean. Again, the lighting at work is so much different, but I can still get pretty decent view on this here. There's a little scratch over here, right next to that fire energy symbol there. But overall, really, really good shape. Again, I'm not overly concerned, but I'm just doing this just for the sake of, further knowledge and things you can look out for yourself. But yeah, I am working on trying to get a better, like a desk lamp so I can use for these overhead shots like this. And obviously just bring more light to my overall streams. But yeah, high hopes for all of these modern cards and some of the vintage ones as well. Good old Blastoise EX, another one here. A microphone? Yeah, it would be nice to pick up a new mic. Something I want to work towards, but I actually bought one, but because it doesn't Bluetooth to the phone, it has to plug in. It kind of kills the audio for this here. So yeah, wouldn't mind getting a Bluetooth mic for my phone. It would make this a lot better. Overall quality would be a lot better. I know I had one before, but again, because it plugs into the phone, it kind of messes with the audio for the overall stream. But yeah, again, this one looks great as well. I'm not seeing anything too crazy on this one. Centering looks good. Obviously, 4 main criteria you're looking for, right? Your centering. The centering, your surface, the corners, and the edges of the card. No. The mic didn't cut out, dude. I was just kind of being quiet for a second, just showing off the card. Nope, mic did not cut. No, you're good. You're good. I did just kind of stop talking for a second, especially because my voice is starting to hurt a little bit. But no, good call out though. Good observation. Nope, I just took a break from talking for a second. Yep, like I said, I just wasn't talking. I was just kind of showing off the card. I'm going to do that again here. Just show it off. A little ASMR action here. Plus, just let the music play. I know you guys are probably tired of hearing me talk. Absolutely beautiful card. Lighting really helps show off all... No, you're good, Jay. You're good. You're good, dude. And again, because this one has all kinds of different like sparkle and specks on the actual, like all over the entire card, this one's going to be tough. This is going to be a tough grade for sure. Absolutely beautiful, though. And I do have this card still in the sealed deck, but I wanted to open up one at least to have... Try and get it graded. A little bit of something up top here, but nothing too crazy. Kind of see it right there in the light right there. Just a little scuff, but nothing too major. See if I can... And again, back in the sleeve. Put it in there about halfway. And yes, it is on a play mat. It's very similar to what I do at work. Fingers on the sleeve, not on the card, because you don't want to get fingerprints on it. Trust me, a lot of times at work, I end up having to wipe off fingerprints because I'm touching the card with my bare hands. And then pick it back up. Yeah, it's still a little scuff. Sometimes if it's just a little dirt or grime, you can kind of wipe that stuff off. But not bad. Again, absolutely beautiful card. Centering on this one looks really, really nice. I don't really see any major issues here, so fingers crossed. Again, a lot of the modern Japanese cards should grade very high. And then it just comes down to the modern English. The modern Chinese cards should grade very, very well as well. And then it comes down to the vintage stuff. If we can get any high grades on vintage, and what I mean by high grades for vintage, like if we can get 8s or higher, I'll be super excited. Because especially for how old some of those cards are, they're creeping up on, 30 years old. Yeah, it's hard to find them unless you just pull them packed fresh. But yeah, if we can get 8s or higher on the vintage Blastoise cards, I'll be super excited. If we can pull a 9 on any of the cards, I'm going to lose my mind. And I'm going to say it here, right? And someone clip it, call me out. If we get any pristines on the vintage, and yes, I said vintage, right? So it's got to be, let's see, vintage be anything that's 20 years old or older. So if I get any pristines in the vintage Blastoise cards, I will do a face reveal. You heard it here as I drop this card. See, that's what happens. Get too excited. It's all right. There goes the pristine for this one. I'm kidding. But yeah, if we get any pristines in the vintage cards, I will do a face reveal stream. So yeah, best of luck. But yeah, look at the texture on this one. This one's insane. The other cool thing about these, so you know it's authentic, you see the little stamp down here on the bottom border. That is Simplified Chinese exclusive. That's how you know this is a real and authentic card, if it has that stamp there. I know at some point people are going to try and replicate it, but as of right now, that's a good way of verifying and validating that this is a real card. Yeah, what's up, dude? Yeah, if I get any pristine 10s and any of the vintage Blastoise cards from this submission. So, real quick, what that would mean is, so this card's 2004, 2002, 2002. So pretty much from here, yeah, so pretty much from this card and older, if any of these get a pristine 10, I would do a face reveal. Which again, we got a lot of chances here, especially when it comes to these guys. Yes. Yeah, it will be, yeah, I know it's kind of crazy, right? There's only a few people I've seen this ugly mug. But, yeah. This doesn't count, by the way. This is from 2018. Just the asterisk there. But, yeah. Any of the cards in this stack here get pristine or higher. Well, I mean, you can't go any higher if it's pristine. But, yeah, and then, again, Halo, just kind of looking over everything, right? Just kind of showing off cards. Giving my insight. Now, this one here, you can tell, right, if you look at the border here, excuse me, and another way you can tell, especially because, you know, there's only a little segment here of the border. If you flip it over, and then you compare these two sides here, this side is much thinner than this side, so that clearly shows that this is shifted from the right to the left. It's not crazy off-center, but it is enough to kind of shift the grade a little bit. But something you have to keep in mind for sure. Again, you have no control over it. But, yeah. Just one thing to keep an eye out for, right? And again, it's hard to tell top to bottom because you only have the corner there of that. So you got to use the side borders for that reference for centering on the front. Now, again, because this is Chinese, it's a bit easier because it has the English backs on them. So you can kind of see how it's shifted again. This side is a lot wider than this side here, so there is a shift in centering. I personally think it's still within that threshold, so I don't think it'll be too big of an issue. Obviously, if it was off-centered, it'd be way more noticeable. But again, Chinese cardstock, Japanese cardstock, still holding true. Looks really, really good. And again, I talked about before, like with those corners, right? These don't have those factory cut corners because these were cut properly and they were cut with care. And someone took their time. But yeah, this card, huge contender for a high grade here. I'm sorry, very, very good contender for a high grade, even though I dropped it a few seconds ago. Yeah, be nice to see how that one grades. And again, simplified Chinese exclusive. Can't find it anywhere else. Yes, this artwork was seen before, but not in this style. Now this one here, excuse me, the style, the artwork, everything is simplified Chinese exclusive. Excuse me. My goodness. All right. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do this, guys. My voice is going out. Back's hurting, but I'm going to try and push through. We go a little silent here and just do some ASMR and just show off the card. No, I haven't played the new skate yet, Jay. It looks pretty sick. I did play the latest Tony Hawk Pro Skater, though, the 3 and 4. That's been a lot of fun. All right. Another super clean card. All right. So, because of the things I just stated, I'm going to try and wrap this up here soon. Anyone in chat, if you guys saw the full lineup of all the Blastoise, which one do you want me to take a quick overview and look at before we end the stream, right? So here's some more. I'll show these off real quick. Any of these you want me to just look over and do the same treatment like I've been doing, I will gladly do that. But if not, I'll probably just going to end the stream here in just a few minutes and take a little bit of a break. I got some Destiny 2 to play. Again, 7 of these Japanese Dark Blastoise. You got a good shot of one of them being a good grade, right? You got the Red Dot Error Blastoise. Good old Shadowless. Again, this one with the cross crease. Should be able to see a lot better now. Yeah, see, there it is right there. See? Huge cross crease on this one. You want to see the Korean one? All right, I'll go back. So, this is the Korean one right here. So let me just make sure this stays in proper order. Flip this over. And make sure, yeah, that was right. Okay. So we'll take a look at this one here. Especially because we showed off English, Japanese, Chinese so far. Good call out to see how the Korean card holds up. Very similar design, right? It has the English back to it. Cardstock feels very similar. Something I noticed right away. is unfortunately there is a, so you can kind of see it right there, right? Got a little bit of shine to it. That's what we call ink loss. So where you see where there was a scratch, where you see the hollow underneath it. So, and it's pretty decent size, is noticeable. So that's going to take away from the grade, unfortunately. That's more of a surface level issue. Outside of that, got a little bit of debris at the top there, a little small scuff, nothing too crazy. But yeah, that's one of those things where, especially with that contrast there, and you can see it clear as day. Even from down here, you can kind of see it. But yeah, that little white dot there, that little speck of ink loss there, is definitely going to hurt the grade on this one. But centering's decent. It's not perfect, but it's decent. On the back, oof. All right, well, when I thought that white dot was bad, so this is even worse. As you can see right here on that border, you have a whole bunch of whitening right there. And unfortunately, that's actually, you kind of see it. Oh yeah, it's amazing. But this border is messed up, and you can see that this is actually chipped away and it's pushed in a little bit. So something hit this card on the side and then it flaked over that border. So that's unfortunately going to really ruin the grade on this one. But hey, you know what? I can still say I have a graded Korean card in my collection, and it's a beautiful one, so I'm not going to complain. But there you go. All right, anything else? Any other requests? Any other cards you guys would like to see me review before we wrap up the stream? 97 minutes into the stream. Absolutely insane. Love all you guys. Appreciate you coming out and checking out the stream. If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure you hit that like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Now, guys, we are so close. No, none of these are for sale. We are so close to that 900 subscriber milestone, which I have an awesome plan for that too, and I'm not going to spoil it. Excuse me. But the sooner we get to that 900 subscriber milestone, we have that next big opening and the next big giveaway. So, all right. There is one card I want to look at before we wrap this up. We're going to look at this card here. This is the Shadowless Blastoise from base set. This is the one that's pretty beat up. But I just wanted to show you how beat up this card really is. And again, in terms of centering, this card's amazing. It looks great from this angle. Until you start doing this. Ooh. Yeah. Now it reveals itself. Like from here, you're like, oh, you know, that's not too bad. And then you get close. And then you start moving around a bit and you see how beat up this card is. But hey, you know what? It's my Shadowless Blastoise, and I'm totally okay with it. Here's the back. You see the cross. There we go right there. Border to border. This one just goes on. Yeah, this one's, yeah, pretty rough shape. But this is still gradable. Hoping to get a very, very low grade on this, which seems insane to say. But the hopes are that this is my lowest graded Blastoise, and I think it's only appropriate for it to be a Shadowless. And no, I did not bend this myself. I didn't cause all this damage. You guys know I don't ever do that. I purchased it this way at a very, very heavy discount. And the guy I got it from even laughed. He said, what are you going to do with this thing? I said, I'm going to get it graded. And he laughed at me. And I said, it's okay. It's for the personal collection. So I want to get it graded. So it's nice and protected. It can't get any worse. But maybe we can get the one out of this. That would be absolutely sick. But all right. That is going to do it for this stream. 99 minutes. Appreciate everyone coming through. That is CGC submission number 50 preview. Now, again, I got to go and print all the paperwork and get all this organized. Get it back in the box. Going to put them back in these little bubble wraps that I had. And then back into here. I put the labels on it, and I drop it off at work tomorrow. But that's going to do it for today's stream, guys. And again, thank you everyone that came through. Let me give some shout-outs real quick before we end the stream. Jay, thank you for coming through, bro. Halo, appreciate you. Bad Wabbit, of course, always nice to see you. Hilario, great seeing you. And then we had good old iced tea mix that came through. But again, that's going to do it for today's stream, guys. Appreciate everyone coming through. I can't wait to see how this comes back. Hopefully, we get this back by my birthday, and that will be an absolutely amazing gift to myself. But that's going to do it for me, guys. 100 minutes later, we're finally done. But that's going to do it for me. I'm WakoBako. Take it easy. Have a good night, guys.